Molly, thanks for coming in to have the conversation today. I know it's probably a long drive to get here. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
One of the things I want to talk about with your business right away, or if you could just kind of explain your business right away to everybody. And I want to preface it like this. I've watched you over the last few years do, a really nice business, a nice amount of transactions. You've done well for yourself, as a solo agent. I just want to hear kind of how you're doing it, where you're, pulling your opportunity from. Just tell me a little bit about you.
So I suppose the biggest thing is when I first started with real estate is my goal was to build a strong foundation in my business.
Yep.
And I didn't want to just jump into it because I got my license in 2020, right before the pandemic.
Yep.
So I didn't want to just leap right into things. It would have been perfect because heck, money was very, very easy at that point in time. And I knew that to be able to make it for the long haul, you had to actually build a stronger foundation. So I spent 2020 really building my foundation, learning as much as I could about the industry, following as many people as I could, and just trying to grasp as much as I possibly could to become as strong of an agent as possible.
Yeah, you've done a great job with it. What were some of the struggles along the way?
What isn't a struggle?
Yeah, right.
So, real estate is, you are your own worst enemy. You're constantly fighting with yourself. You're always questioning yourself. Am I good enough? It can be difficult.
I think everybody, by the way, feels that way.
It's definitely a real thing. I mean, you have the pressures of always wanting to obviously do the right things for your clients, doing the right things, for you. And it can definitely wear you down a bit. But, the most important thing is to always ask yourself, am I doing the right thing?
Do you feel like the pressure to perform, though, is it more from you on you, or do you feel it's more from others on you?
For me personally, I put it on myself.
Yeah.
So I'm one that, I'm in competition with myself. I'm not in competition with other agents. So I'm always proud of the successes that my peers are having. I don't view that if any friends of mine in the industry, if they get a contract over me or any new listing they get, I'm very happy for them. And I'm like, hey, that's an awesome listing. I'm really proud of you. And I like to celebrate their wins.
Yeah, I've seen this with you where instead of seeing competitors, you see collaborators.
Yes.
And I've had it happen to me where somebody calls me, how did you get that listing? That's in where I work. Like, how did you get that? Like somehow I owe them an explanation, like I took something from them. So when you're looking at people as a collaborator instead of competitor, now you're able to say, I will freely share with you. Here's what I do and what works, and they share with you what works. And even in the same market, I'm a big believer that actually brings more business, not less, to every agent.
Right, because
I really do.
There's more than enough business out there for all of us, in my opinion.
There is, absolutely. About your business, so where are you pulling it from? What sources are you getting your business from? So
the bulk of my business is from within my sphere, and then also from previous transactions. So referrals from my sphere, and then referrals from previous transactions.
Sure. So would you say it's a fair statement that over time your past clients pretty much become your sphere?
Yes. Yep. 100%.
Yep. And so your proof of concept is there. They worked with you. And I personally think that's one of the best referral sources, someone that's already worked with you and they think of you in real estate. A lot of times the problem is in your other relationships that haven't worked with you, they think of you as Molly, the college roommate, or Molly, the, whatever your last job was, I mean, it's hard for them to think about you in regards to real estate. But when a past client of yours, that's pretty much how they think of you. It's a great way to get referrals, I believe.
And especially when you're first getting into real estate, for example.
Yes.
I mean, it's very difficult to get your sphere to work with you.
Yep.
So, when you work with that first client, those first couple of clients, it's wonderful to get to know them, and because they're going to be your biggest referral source. And actually, one of my first clients, he's an investor, and I've actually done more transactions with him than any other client. So, and that's just it. It's always looking forward, and it definitely didn't start out that way in that in that relationship. It was, a few months down the line, it was, I saw another house and just would randomly send him a house. Hey, I saw this property. I thought of you.
Right.
And he in time saw my worth, and now we have this phenomenal relationship and have built a great portfolio for him.
What's the number of transactions a year you're doing on a good year now?
25.
25, which is interesting because I've talked about this with the last couple of groups too. It seems like 25 to 35 is sort of that magic number that great agents are doing right now. And this is a lot different right now than it was, call it 5 years ago. The number of sales in the market has gone significantly down. I mean, it's not down a little, it's down a lot. The market is sluggish in terms of number of transactions. Even though sale prices continue to rise, number of transactions, continue to stay very, very stagnant. They dropped a lot. Now they're just flat, right? So here's somebody that is doing 25 transactions a year that in a different market easily could be at 40, 45, 50. But it's demotivating, at least in my opinion. It gets demotivating at times when you're working twice as hard to get half as much done. What is your approach in order to deal with that? How do you keep yourself on track mentally?
It's pivoting. So each year I have a different goal for myself. So, when I first got into the industry, it was just help as many people as I can, do everything I can, do everything that I can. And then it was, help as many first-time buyers as I could. I really wanted to focus on the first-time buyer industry, and then, or segment, I should say. And then, from there, I've actually wanted to branch out, and now this year, for example, my goal has been to focus on listings. And so I've been very listing heavy this year. So I in my opinion, it's pivoting as you go and creating different goals for yourself along the way. And I feel that that's what's helped make me more dynamic.
What do you think some advice would be for those that are struggling right now?
Take a step back, assess your business, and look at what are some things you can do differently. But then if you're not able to find a solution for yourself, don't be afraid to reach out to your peers. I think it's really important that we have confidence within this industry. I mean, this is a horribly competitive industry.
It is. But collaborator versus competitor again, right? That's why it's so important.
Exactly. Yep. And it's very important to have a network of agents that you can go to that is your support system. I know after every transaction, even most interactions, I will bounce off with a couple of other agents, things that I could have done differently, because I always want to evolve and be better.
Sure.
So that's something that's very important. And I think we can always grow.
Where do you see yourself going in the next few years? You're at 25 deals now. Where do you see yourself heading?
So over the next few years, realistically, I'll probably be in that 25 to 40 range. But at the rate that things are going right now, my transaction, the dollar value is getting higher. So I think I'm going to be tapping into that next echelon of clientele.
Do you feel like, you might go up in, I'm not gonna say quality of client, that's the wrong term, but, affluence of client, number one. Number two, do you feel like you're going to have more, that you're going to invest in your business to do more transactions, or do you feel like you're just going to focus on a higher sale price?
I think it's going to be a combination of things. I think because I do work with a few investors right now, and they're growing, and as they're growing, their portfolio and what they're looking for is growing, which is in turn causing me to grow as well. Sure. So I have aspects that are pushing me over to the commercial side a bit.
Sure.
And then also pushing me to a higher transaction volume, because they're looking at larger dollar value homes through 1031s, et cetera.
Got it. Last question, promise. What do you think the most challenging obstacle you've had to overcome since you started?
Don't lose faith in yourself. This industry is hard. It is not easy. I know the TV shows and everything make it look fabulous and easy. I know everyone thinks that our job is extremely simple and easy. Don't get down on yourself. Always be learning, always be evolving. And you know what? You got into this for a reason, and you are good enough.
Yep. Good advice. Molly, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. And we're good.
All right.